Hello and welcome back to Marineford TCG. My name's Joe. Drink of the day, it was a cold can of Red Bull, but I've finished it. And today I've been playing, honestly, I think my favourite of the new leaders, Shirahoshi. Definitely a massive cope deck, this one. Until we get to the next set and we get that Shirahoshi SR, it's not a serious meta contender. However, I think she's a lot of fun, and you know what? She can compete, I think, a little bit better than most people are giving her credit for. So, timestamps are in the description if you don't want to hear me talk about this deck. However, I will be going over the cards because, well, it's Shirahoshi who's playing these cards. So, Shirahoshi's leader effect, she is a green-yellow 5-life 5k leader. And she cannot attack, and that's obviously the biggest issue with this deck. However, you can activate main once per turn, you can flip the top card of your life face up, and rest one Don, and play a Sea King type character, or Megalo, with a cost equal to the amount of Don that you control from your hand. So it kind of plays a little bit like Vegapunk, right? You're tapping one to play out like a decently sized body. You've got that condition of having to flip your life, but that sort of interacts with her effects in some interesting ways. So this sort of lends itself to a really aggressive playstyle, playing out loads of bodies in the same sort of way that Vegapunk does, but you have a lot more resources than Vegapunk. Obviously, your on-plays are nowhere near as powerful as his. You're not summoning million guys, you don't really have removal, but having those extra resources and access to green cards can be pretty clutch. So let's start off by going over the Sea Kings. We've got Oroko, he's a 6/8, this is your biggest Sea King that you can play out with his Shirahoshi's effect, and one of the most important cards to see on curve. We've also got Tori, it's a 6/7, another vanilla, but this one's a 2k. Obviously considerably worse than Oroko to play out, but also important because it can be seen off some of our searchers as a searchable 2k. We've got the Lord of the Coast, he's a 4/5 1k, and on play, one of your opponent's resty characters will not become active during their next refresh phase. This is really important for freezing key big targets on important turns. As Shirahoshi, we need to build a board and we need to protect that board. And Lord of the Coast helps you get there by freezing an 8-cost Katakuri, or a 9-cost Luffy, maybe a 9-cost Sanji, anything you can think of. Lord of the Coast can freeze it, and that's really important. The trigger KOing Arrested 3, not really relevant. We also have Madara. I'm a bit mixed on this card, but it does seem pretty decent. 4/5 1k on play. If you're leader of Shirahoshi, you look at the top 5, grab a Shirahoshi or a Sea King. So you can grab any of your targets other than Megalo for your leader's effect, and can also grab our Searcher, which I guess we'll go over now. This is 1/0 1k Shirahoshi. It's a classic green tap Searcher. You rest her, you rest a Don, you look at the top 5 for Sea King or Fishman Island. The last Sea Kings we have access to, we have Shakure. He's a 5/7. If your leader is Shirahoshi, you can rest him and flip the top card of your life face down. So all the yellow cards, or a lot of them, in this deck are the half of your deck that flips the life face down, which then lets you reuse your leader effect on the next turn, of course. You can only use this once per turn. It gets around anyone who thinks they're a bit of a wise guy by leaving that face-up life just there, face-up, because we have lots of ways to flip it down. Shakure, when you do that, you rest him, you flip it down, and then you KO 3. Not terribly impactful, but getting rid of cards like Chump Blockers and Zoro Juro in particular can actually be pretty clutch. We also have Chon Magye. He's a 5/6 blocker, 1k counter, and activate main. If your leader is Shirahoshi, you can flip the life face down, and then at the end of your turn, Chon Magye will restand. Very similar to something like the green Doflamingo that you see in Lim. Having a blocker that restands, we see it all over the place now. Really, really powerful. And the last target for our leader effect is a little Megalo here. Look at him, he's so happy. 3/2 1k blocker, and then in your opponent's turn, if your leader is Shirahoshi, he gets 4,000 extra power. So this is a 3/6. So your sort of curve with this deck is looking like you're going to go second. On your first turn, your Searcher Gaming, pretty good. Then on 4, you want to play out either Madara or Lord of the Coast if you have to, but really Madara is the best play on 4. And then alongside him, because he comes out for 1, you can play Megalo or you can play this Shiali. She's a 3/4 1k blocker, again, the same as Megalo, different stats, but still a 3-cost blocker. And then on play, you can flip the top card of your life face down. Once again, all these yellow cards having that effect is lovely. Look at the top 3, grab one Fishman Island type card, which annoyingly is none of the Sea Kings, but she is Fishman Island and Merfolk herself. And then you can add that to your hand, then put the remaining cards on the bottom or top of your deck. So this is important for cycling towards Hody. Hody is your closer. He's not Fishman Island. He's not Sea King. So you can't search him off your best searcher, and you can't search him off your character searcher. You can also not search him off Charlie, but if you see him in that top 3, you get to leave him on top with this, which is really, really important. On that 6th Don turn, you're going to want to play out a Roko. Every single time, a Roko is that guy. Alongside him, ideally, you'll play at one of your 5s. You could play Shakare, you could play Chonmage, or you could play this other 5, which is Neptune. This is a 5/7 Merfolk Fishman Island type card. So, searchable off Shirahoshi, searchable off Charlie. On play, if your leader is Shirahoshi, turn the top card of your life face down. Tell me if you've heard that before. Draw 2, trash 1. It's just a nice big body. 5/7's a great stat line. And the fact that he replaces himself in hand and gives you cycle to once again dig towards your closer is really strong. I'm only on 2 because he's not a Sea King, and I do think I want a critical mass of Sea Kings. However, if you really like the Neptune, you could probably go down like 1 Shakare and increase your Neptunes to 3. That could be pretty reasonable. After that 6th Don turn, your plays sort of open up quite a lot, but we will obviously go over the rest of the deck. 4 Hody, he rests blockers, he rests Dons, he's that guy, he does everything. Enables you to play for board and stops people from starving you because he takes that life. In a similar way to Bonnie, not minding taking that life, we're honestly kind of in the same position quite a lot. And Hody is just so important, and because he is completely unsearchable by our 2 main searchers, I'm playing 2 Kami. This card, kind of bad. Searches Fishman or Merfolk, so it doesn't get any of our Sea Kings, but can get Hody, Shirahoshi, Neptune, Charlie, this 2K, and You're Not My Type, which is an event that we'll talk about right at the end. It doesn't whiff too much, and it's just so important to see this Hody. That's why I've chucked a couple in. I was having too many games where I wasn't seeing any of these, and honestly, 1's usually enough, but if you can get 2, you're kind of just farming. This card's just so broken at the minute. Everyone's leaving Dons open for events, and everyone's playing out massive blockers. In terms of our 2Ks, we've got the Tori that we spoke about earlier. I've got 4 of this Otahime. She's a 1/0 2K. Merfolk Fishman Island, searchable off everything except Madara. And on play, if your leader is Shirahoshi, you can flip your life face down, draw a card. It's like a clutch card that sometimes you just need to draw a card, and you'll see that in one of these games. Or sometimes you just need to flip your life face down. If you haven't been able to do that on the previous turn and you need to use your leader effect first, Otahime replaces herself and flips it face down for just 1 dot. And then we've got 2 of the Jinbei. He's fine. It's a Fishman searchable 2K that you can grab off Kami. Can't grab it off Shirahoshi, sadly, or Shiali, which is a little bit of a shame, but it is what it is. And his trigger is if you have 2 less life, and then you can play him. I've not had this come up a single time, but I just wanted a Fishman searchable 2K, and this is about the best. Last card in the deck is this event. You're Not My Type. 1 Don event. Counter if your leader is Shirahoshi, one of your leader or characters gains 4K for the turn. So it's an unconditional rad beam, but leader locked Shirahoshi. Very strong card. Don't want a ton of these because I don't love keeping Don up. I love to be aggressive with this deck. But you could go up to 3 or 4 realistically if you wanted to. Merfolk and Fishman Island, so searchable off everything. Both Kami and Shirahoshi and Charlie can search this, which is pretty cool. Trigger KOs a 2. It's like lore because in the anime, she's denying the advances of Vanderdeck in the 9th, and he costs 2. So that's why the trigger KOs are 2, but you know, it doesn't really come up. So that's Shirahoshi. Obviously, I'm not going to lie to you, this deck is not meta. This deck is very much a rogue deck. However, she's really fun. I really like this deck. And I'm excited for the buffs next set to come. Blue-Purple Luffy is easily this deck's worst matchup. However, if you can draw enough Hodies, there's a way. Where there's a Hody, there's a way, man. I've got 1 game into Blue-Purple Luffy. Very close game. I'm not going to spoil the result, of course. But make sure you check that one out. Also, I've got a game into Purple Luffy where, I'm not going to lie, I screwed up. I had my camera covering the cards in his hand the whole game. So I apologise for that, but the game was just such a banger. The ending was so amazing. I couldn't cut it out. I couldn't cut it out. You will not be able to see how many cards he has in his hand, sadly. Oh, one last thing. You may see some different cards in some of these games. I was messing about with the build, of course. Always a work in progress during these videos. This is what I've finalised on. But if you see like Tashigi or some other cards, don't think too much of it. They're just cards I've cut. Either way, thank you for listening to me talk about the deck list. Here's the games. I'm going to give him to Blue Purple Luffy, and he's chosen first. Our hand for going second is okay. I really like to see a 3 cost and a 4 cost, so I'm going to mulligan because we need a great hand into Blue Purple Luffy especially. We do see the 3 cost in the Shiali. We get Hody. That's very important. Let's see if we can get something to play with our leader effect here. And we get Megalo. I mean, it's about the best we've got, right? Yeah, we're not taking anything else. It's just going to be Megalo here. Next turn, at least we can go Megalo plus Shiali. It's not amazing, but it's better than nothing. And we are very likely to see him swing into the Shirahoshi. Just get the removal on that. Indeed. Some kind of ramp. No. No ramp. Incredible. That's a treat. Holy. Okay, now let's go flip the life up. That's a good one. Not quite yet, but we'll play out the Megalo. Then we'll go to Shiali. Use that. Oh, now that's important. So the only card we can take here is the Neptune. And that's not going to be bad on 6, right? It's not bad. I do want to place these on the top, though, because I really want that Hody Jones. However, we don't need him next turn, so I guess we'll put the Madara there. Maybe next turn we'll go with either Madara, Shakadare, or probably the Shakadare, I'm thinking. We can play out the Shakadare, and then use the Neptune with the rest. Okay, he's going to ramp up with God Thread, destroying our Megalo. But only 1 ramp? It's not that scary. This just, like, rests a thing, right? And it KOs a 3. Yeah, we don't need that. This will be great later on, though, to rest one of his dudes. So this turn, we're definitely going with, I think, Shakadare into the Neptune. Yeah, and we don't need to do anything with this. So we can just use our leader effect, play out the Shakadare, play the Neptune, deploy him, use the card action, draw into the Hody. Don't think we want any more Neptunes, and then we'll pass it over. So next turn, we can actually go Hody plus the Oroko that's on top if we end up taking a hit. I don't really want to, but it's an option. 14 into 5. Really? Really? Sure. That's an interesting one. Yeah, so we need to apply good pressure. We need to apply pressure. We can do 6. We can do 1 for Oroko. I guess we can do 4 for Madara or 6 for Tori. Do we want to swing with the Shiali? I mean, it's not the worst. If we get the pressure here with a 6 from Shiali, we can still deploy Madara. But deploying Tori is a lot better. So I think we'll just forgo that. We'll go 7 with Shakadare. 8 with Neptune. Likely get a 2k and a life. Nope. Okay, we're going to get 2 lives. I'll take that any day of the week. Unless you want to give us 2 cards here. Nope, does indeed take. We'll flip the life, play out the Oroko, and then we'll play Tori. So the worst possible thing we can see here is Sanji Linlin, obviously. Just specifically Linlin, getting rid of our 6s is brutal. However, it does make our Hody a little less costly, so there's that. A 10 cards in hand, about to be 11, is just hideous. It's not what you want to see as a Shirahoshi player. 10 and 11 cards in this Luffy player's hand. We'll go no blocker here. We'll give... I mean, we should have blocked. That's a mistake. But I suppose if he Linlins, he removes 1 anyway, right? We've still got space for the Hody Jones. We don't even necessarily need the Hody this turn. Or we can do Hody plus Lord. I don't know. We'll see what we get here. We'll see what we get. He's going to put the Oroko in life, right? It's just the biggest guy. Yeah, smart. Smart guy. So this Tori being upright is a little annoying. It means that we can't do a ton. We could K-me, but there's nothing particularly that I'm after. Could simply apply pressure and play out perhaps Megalo. Hody plus Lord is an option to freeze one of these. I think I'm going to start with just an 8 from Shakadare and see what happens. See what happens here. Does have one Don, can use gear second or... Yeah, use the gear second, sure. We can make these pretty big though, right? Can we make them both 10? We can, but then we don't have a Don for our... Well, then we don't have a Don for our event. How much do I care about the event? Not that much. We haven't got a ton of counter here, though. I wouldn't mind using the event. Let's go 9, 10. A 9's pretty brutal anyway, right? He's not going to want to counter a 9. Surely. But the nice thing is, if he goes down to 0, Hody starts popping off. Hody absolutely starts popping off. And yeah, the reason we can't do leader effect is because our life is already face up. And I have no good way to put it face down. Wow, we get 3 cards. That is mega. I'm thrilled with that. We'll go just with the Megalo and pass it over 1 up for our 4K event. It's nowhere near as good as his, but, you know, what can you do? We are going to see him use his leader effect here. Looking for presumably just more linlins. Another 2K Sanji's not bad, but it's not the best. We'll see if he places on top or bottom. Another 9 cost Sanji would just be brutal. Bottoms, though. No more Sanjis. That's good. That's really good news. Now, we need at least 1 board space. So I'm happy to just block, probably with the Megalo. And we do see 7 coming in. 7 into 7. We'll go no blocker there. We'll just counter this one with the Kami, right? I don't think we ever need the Kami. We've got 2 Hodis, right? If we can't win with 2 Hodis, we're doing something wrong. 9 into 7. No, thank you. 9 into 7. No, thank you. I'm afraid you're just not my type. And there's the Katakuri. Very nice. We're going with Hody here. No brainer. We can even potentially do Lord of the Coast if it all goes wrong. So we'll go with the Hody. Rest this, rest that. Get a Tori. He's okay, I guess. So we've got 8, 8, 8, 8. Let's start with 8. Doesn't really matter. Start with 8 from Hody. We've got all the 8s. We can abandon it and go 7, play out Lord of the Coast, freeze Sanji, I guess. If we really think he's going to get there. But with no Don open, it's a little rough. We know he has that 2K Sanji, though. That's one to watch. He does take that there. Oh, no, not the Raging Tiger trigger. Man, that card is the worst. Okay, well, I think that makes our choice a little bit easier. We're going to go 8, 8, and then play out the Lord. Man, that sucked. That sucks. I hate that card. Does give us 2K, 1K. Now, we know he has a 2K. We know he has another 2K. Oh, man, that really sucked. We've got to go 8. We can't go 9. It's 2 Gamba. 2K, 1K. If he had no counter in hand, man, I'm going to feel really bad about that. We're going to do this. We're going to play out the Lord of the Coast. Freeze the Sanji because it's the biggest character. And then pass it over. This restands at the end of his turn anyway. It's like, whatever. It's whatever. The one upside, right, is we have another Hody. He gets another Gear 2. But that's not Gum Gum Giant. I'm not that scared of Gear 2. Does stack on top, though, so clearly good cards. We're going to keep Lord of the Coast. We've got 4K counter, so we might be able to keep 1 or 2 of our other characters. If he doesn't get another Raging Tiger. Raging Tiger just brutalizes this deck 100%. God Thread's not so good. Can remove, I guess, Shakure. Yeah, remove Shakure. 9 into 7. And then what's this? 9... 8? It's not 9, 9. We defend this. We definitely defend this. Give him the Madara. How many Dons do you want to leave open, sir? How many Dons do you want to leave open? Just the one? Oh boy, we get to keep our Tori. What a treat. We'll go resolve on that. We can't counter anyway. Choice. This restands. 4 Don. I mean, if he chains enough Giants, he can get there. Right, we've got a Hody, I think, here. Realistically. Can we even not Hody? We know he has Gear Second. Presumably this is like Gear Second, and this is Gum Gum Giant. We can make it a little awkward by swinging 6 with the Law of the Coast first. Yeah, let's swing 6 with Lord of the Coast. Just ask for a 1k. We know he has that Sanji 2k still as well. We know Sanji 2k. Gum Gum Gianting on a 6 is a good sign. I thought he had a Sanji 2k. We know he has Gear Second. I guess let's burn that. He leaves. Where did the Sanji go? I swear he had a Sanji. Maybe he must have countered with it. Oh, he countered with it at the end of last turn. So yeah, he can Gear Second out of this one. But yeah, we just have too many swings. If you're going to beat them, this is how you're going to do it. Hody Jones is the guy. I've seen so many lists people are posting without Fort Hody. It's like, don't forget how insane this card is. Got a game into blue, yellow, Nami. I think we'll take second. It's a good curve on 6, but nothing on 4. I think I'll mulligan. This is looking good. We've got the Shirahoshi. We've got... Ooh, that's really, really nice. So go the Shirahoshi. Rest her. Get a search off. Oh, man. There go our Hodies. Fuck. Do I ever want a Charlie instead of Megalo? Maybe. Maybe. I don't think I want the You're Not My Type right now, so I'm going to take the Shiali. Then we'll end the turn. Man, that sucks. You need those Hodies. At least the Shiali can maybe put some cards to the bottom of the deck, get us closer to those Hodies. We're likely to see swing into the Shirahoshi block, the Sap Searcher, right? Yeah. Indeed. He didn't get a draw because didn't deal damage. Quite funny actually. So we're gonna go with the Megalo. No, we're gonna go with the Madara. Sorry, wrong name. There's an Oroko. That's not bad. Madara gonna grab only a Sea King or a Shirahoshi. Do I want the Searcher? Not really. I'll probably just take a 2k here. Lord of the Coast's okay. I'm going to take the 2k. I think I like the 2k. Then we'll go with the Shiali. Rest, get rid of that. This can grab Fishman Island. Definitely don't want another Megalo, so let's grab the event and put those on the bottom. And then the turn. Next time we've got a pretty good turn. We've got Oroko into Neptune, which is strong. He's got 5 for the Katakuri blocker. Going to be swinging in 6. We'll give 2k here. That Nico Robin is kind of annoying, but either way, I want to go no blocker. I think we're giving the Tori. Just to deny the draw, right? Denying the draw is very important. Now, swinging 5, he blocks, it's a little annoying. I think we just don't swing. Yeah, I think we just don't swing. We just play out the Oroko plus Neptune. Oroko, Neptune, flip it face down. We'll draw 2 trash one. We know we've got another Oroko here. Don't think I want this Madara. I'll just pass it over. There's no point swinging. He can just free block with the Kata. Right. There's no reason for him to not. So we won't give him the option of attacking into our Madara. See if this blocker wants to swing as well, actually. That'll be interesting. This is sort of a newish card in the Nami, right? You don't always see this Kata. Really nice that it gives that Don. But kind of awkward that it, you need to turn the life face up. Okay, gonna go with the Zeus. Removes our Neptune. Very annoying. Now he can use that Kata's effect once more. Nami comes down. Gonna swing 6 with the Kata. We can 2k again. But because he's already used his leader effect, I think I'll take this one. So that we can defend our characters better on the next turn. I think this time we'll start with... We could go with Hody, right? Hody's really not bad. If we defend this and then go with Hody, that could be strong. We can even Hody plus Oroko. That could be really good. Shows us a linlin. I don't really care about that. Do I care about going down to 3? We know he has a Robin. I'm just gonna go. I'm gonna go down to 3. Fuck it. We're going down to 3. We're gaming. What a time to be alive. He's called Beast Mode, but we're gonna be going Beast Mode. I'm gonna try anyway. Doing our best. Now, once he passes it over here, I doubt you ever swing with his kata, right? Would be a little weird. But I mean, I guess it's not a bad play. We're going to hold it anyway, so. From our point of view, swing away. Yeah, I think we're just going to go with the Hody here. Rest the Nami and the Kata. Get that extra life. We'll swing in for 5 at life. Sort of ask the question. You sort of need to leader effect this one. But then it's going to make it easier for us to clear his dudes. Which is obviously strong. And if he takes... I mean, it doesn't really matter because this is a brick. Does give us a Nojiko. That card's really annoying. And we'll go 8 into Kata. If we can get like 4 cards here, that would be insane. We do get 2. We get a beige and something else. This big vanilla. Look at him go. What a guy. And a Robin. We've got another 8. Is he going to give us 2 more cards? Now, Nami plays a lot of bricks. Traditionally. And does give us 2 more beige. Okay, he had a handful of beige. Interesting. We'll use our leader effect. Flip that. That's an Otahime. Not too bad. We'll play out 1 more Oroko and pass the turn. So we've got a little chump blocker in our Charlie. It shouldn't be too hard to defend our board. Red Rock is not that scary. It's a good card. A good play. But it's not the end of the world for us, right? It's really not. I don't even mind sacking off this Charlie here. Because we could go with something like Oroko plus something else. And in fact, I'm going to do that because I don't want to give him the draw. I really don't want to give him the draw. If he wants to swing with his blockers, we've got 2Ks. We're fine. And he doesn't. Seems good. So we could play Shakare. Get rid of the Zeus. Not too impactful. But it's not bad. Really want to swing at least 7 with the Madara. Playing out Shakare. And then going with the Oroko off the leader effect could be pretty good for 6. Yeah, I think we'll go 7 with Madara. We're going to apply a lot of pressure this turn. This is really, really good. Really, really good. And this being a brick just doesn't help him. Doesn't help him one bit. Really annoying number, this 7. I think he should have just let that Katakuri go, potentially. At the end of the last turn, because he's got kind of not a lot of counter now. Let's go 8 with Oroko. Does give us the linlin for the leader effect. And then a 2k there in the Zeus. Okay, does that change our lines at all? I don't think so. I really like Shakare plus Oroko for 6. And we've got 2 left. I'll keep 1 for an event. So I guess we can swing 9. Seems alright. Get him down to 1 most likely. We do indeed. We'll go with the Shakare. I'll use its effect because we need to flip the life face down. We'll destroy Zeus for fun. Then we'll use the leader effect to play out another Oroko. Man, when your 6-8 is your boss monster, it's like so ass, but it feels kind of good, man. I can't lie. Nojiko bounces our Shaka. That's so efficient. Brutal. If he has a Raging Tiger now, I'm gonna... Okay, he's got the funny combo with the Jozu and the Nojiko. Can bounce 1 more of our Orokos. But he's not gonna have any pressure, right? He's not gonna have any pressure. We can just do You're Not My Type. I'm afraid, Nami, you are not my type. And we get the Hody. My guy! Look at this guy. Bang, bang. We're going to go 7 with Madara. Man, this card. I fucking love Hody. Need to get some alt-art Hodys, man. This shit feels so good. Shit feels so good. Hey, when they don't see enough removal... Man, Shirahoshi's got some sauce. Look at her go. Look at her face. We do see that there. So 9 is guaranteed, but it's kind of fine. We can just go 8, 8, 9. Yeah, very nice. GG's. Well played to our opponent. GG. Not just 1G. GG. Well played to our opponent. Let's move on. Got a game into Purple Luffy, and I'm going to take second. It's okay. It is okay. Let's keep. Let's keep. Double Kamies. Okay, we're going to try and find Hodies here. No Hodies here. We can get You're My Type or Shiali. I think we'll go with the Shiali because that's really nice for next turn. 4 plus 3 is the magic number. We'll go to another one. Still no Hodie. That's a little unfortunate. All we can grab there is Neptune. And then we'll end the turn. It's not a bad start, right? Next turn we've got Madara plus Shiali. We're going to get a couple searches. And we're going to establish a couple dudes. This is annoying. We can't really remove that without Hodie. I don't have a 2k, so I guess we'll be taking that. Shirahoshi's not bad, though. There's a 2k. Not particularly one I want to play out. So he's going to be on 7 next turn. He's going to ramp to 8, play out Kata. Almost certainly. We'll flip this up, play out the Madara. There's the bloody Hodie. Need him. We need him. He's so important. This can grab Shirahoshi or Seeking, so all we can get there is another Madara. But it's okay. We'll let him off. Then we'll go through with this. Flip that face down. This grabs Fishman Island, so only the Otohime. How much do I want to draw a Roko? A Roko plus Neptune next turn is a very good play. It is very powerful. Do we ever want Shaka there? I don't think so. I think I'm going to put these on top and just return them like that, so that we draw the Oroko. The Oroko's great. This Mr. 2, though, we kind of can't interact with him. He's going to get to swing for a massive number at some point. Okay, use it now. I think that's a mistake. We'll go no blocker and give up the Madara. I don't think we want him. Going to ramp up. Presumably this is Katakuri. 5 on 5. We'll give one more 1k. We'll go no blocker, give up the Shirahoshi. We do see the Kata. Very nice. We're going to get to remove this Mr. 2 anyway, which is really the only thing I'm concerned about. And we've got all these Kamies that can attack in. There's no way he's defending this. I would assume, anyway. Yes, very nice. So I'll play this turn. Not the best. We're not going to get any pressure at face, which is a little bit of a shame, but... You know, we're establishing a nice board for next turn. Drawing a Shakadare and a Shiali. I don't think we need the Shakadare. So we'll trash him. Given that he is a kind of a nasty brick. He's a big guy, and carrying a 3 sometimes really does come up. But not really into the Purple Luffy. The only one they might play is Zorojuro. Goes with the Law. Maybe looking for that 9-cost Luffy. Yeah, there you go. That card is so scary, man. That card is so scary. We do have to defend this. We'll give... The Lord of the Coast going to actually be pretty strong next turn. So we won't be giving that. I think it's the Shiali, right? Chonmaga is a better chump blocker. Although Shiali can cycle you towards Hodie. I'm going to toss the Shiali. Kata, yeah, we'll take this one and then we'll block the Rush Luffy's swing. Yeah, very nice. We'll block this with the Shiali. And he's going to restand his Kata, of course. Going to ramp up so that he can use his event. I'm not sure you needed to do that, but I mean, it's no bad. It's not a bad play, right? It's a really good event. Speaking of events, I'd quite like to keep one up for mine. We need 4 for Lord of the Coast. I probably will play out this Chonmage. So that's 5. 1 for the event is 6. So it's looking like maybe a 6 with the Madara. Let's go 5 with the Madara. We're not going to let him free block with his Kata, which is really nice. See if he wants to burn his Giant. And then we'll swing 9 with the Neptune. Going to at least get something out of him, right? It's tough, though. This card is just so broken. Like, Giant's insane. The more you play like rogue decks, the more you feel Giant is broken, honestly. Yeah, and there's the block 2k. Very nice. Good play. We'll go with our leader effect, playing out Chonmage. Then we'll go with Lord of the Coast, deploying that over Kami, freeze that Luffy, use his effects to just flip the life back face down, and then we'll pass it over. We've got one up for You're Not My Type. Strong counter event, but our one doesn't say trash 1, draw 2 like his does. Man, this Luffy deck's so crazy. So good. We'll go no blocker and just give him the Tashigi here. Are we going to see another 9-cost Luffy? That'd be pretty rough. 8 into 5. We can You're Not My Type this. See, I have a 4-cost event, a 4k event too. And then what are we going to see? A Linlin, another Kata. We just need the Hody, man. You need to see Hody. It's why I'm running the extra Kamis. Just to have extra dig towards Hody, but you just don't see it anyway, and it's so tough when you don't. It's tricky. I wish there was more. I don't know. I don't want to run a full playset of Kamis, right? It just turns into Hody Jones the deck. It's so rough. There's nothing else that's as good in this format. So many purple decks playing this big fat man and the stinky event. Before I was running 10-cost Dofi. Maybe we need to return to that. Maybe we need to bring the 10-cost Dofi back. There's a Kata. Yeah, very nice. It's like, what do you do here, man? So crazy. Well, I think what we do here is swing, right? We'll use one Don, I guess, to play out Megalo over Lord of the Coast so that we can flip the back face up with Chonmage. We really don't need Dons other than that, so we're swinging big. Can we go all 8? So we can go 8 with Madara, 8 with Neptune, 8 with Chonmage. I mean, that works out perfectly, and I know 8 stinks into Giant, but it's really good into Kata. So let's just do a bunch of 8s. Play out a chump blocker, restand this guy, and see how it goes. Does have the Giant, of course. They always have it. Ditches his brick. Very nice. We'll go 8 with Oroko. Eight with Oroko. I don't want him to get the value out of this Katakuri stuff, right? We'll go 8 with Neptune. Looking for 2Ks. He's only given us like 1 so far. Which is so rough. We've got 8 with Chonmage. Look at him go. Block. 1K. 2K? 2K, sure. 8 once more. He takes down to 0. Hody Jones? Come on, where's Hody, man? Give me the Hody. That's not a Hody. We can play the Megalo over the Lord of the Coast. Use this effect. End of turn. He stands up. We've got a chump blocker. There's a chance. Not a good chance, but a chance nonetheless. This Katakuri, man. This card is so awful. So insane. Purple Luffy has so many tools. Purple Straw Hat is just an insane package. We could take the free block, but I think we got 1, 2, 3. I think we take the. If we block with Chonmage, he starts attacking Chonmage. I don't want Chonmage to die. The problem here is he's not going to give us any lives, right? He's not going to give us the lives. Which is smart. He's smart too, right? He is smart to not give us the lives, because this one's not Hody. This one could be. You know, he doesn't know and we don't know either. So tough. Yeah, 8 into 5 you can have. We're not doing much about that. 8 into 7 you cannot have. Go no blocker to Shigi. Ten into 8 you can have Megalo. And what's this for the remaining 9? Linlin? Another Luffy, okay. Okay, that's kind of rough. It's kind of. If we can get Hody off the top here, there's a chance. But otherwise, I think we're just cooked. Right? I mean, we've got to take the block. Always. We need Hody off the top. That's just not Hody. Man, where's Hody? So if we flip this, we can draw 1 with Otohime. Otherwise, we've got no chance. We've just got no chance. We need Hody. I don't even want to play this. Oh, okay. Okay. I mean, it's a really bad lethal. But it's possible now, right? Big ups Otohime. What a Chad. What an absolute Chad. Right, we've got 888. Or we can go 789. Well, he's got no lives, so it's just 888, right? Let's see if we can get there. He's got 1 block for free. Is there a chance? Let's go. Man, I'm so thrilled with that win. Otohime drawing us into it. It's actually quite funny. He had no counter. He had like 3k. He didn't even have the giant, right? But if we didn't get exactly Hody there, we just lose. That was a banger of a game. Man, GG's your opponent. That was a great one. Incredibly lucky, but... You know, we play Hody at 4. I'm even playing the KV to try and find him, so... I'll take the dub. So thank you for watching. Let me know what you thought of those games. Again, I apologise for the camera being over the hand in the Purple Luffy game. If you saw the ending of that, I'm sure you can understand why I didn't want to cut that one out, despite my mistake. I was recording the CS videos earlier today. I just didn't notice that I hadn't moved my camera back. Bit of a bummer, but either way, that was a great game. The game into Blue Purple Luffy as well was pretty fire. I mean, if you're going to win, that's really how you're going to do it. Hody Jones is just the GOAT. The only tip I have for this deck is just really ask your opponent nicely if they would please not play Gravity Blade Raging Tiger against you. Because that card is horrific for us to deal with. All our dudes except Hody cost 6 or less. It's... Man. Raging Tiger's the worst. But I hope you have fun with Shirahoshi. Let me know what you think of my list. Still going to be working on this. I think there's definitely room to make some changes. The Madara is strong, but it definitely doesn't feel insane. In the past, I've played cards like Smoker, 10 cost Doflamingo. I think they're just a little bit slow. I feel like we're not winning the late game anyway. So having a bunch of bricky unsearchables, I think I like this build more, with more of the focus on the Fishman Island stuff. I'm also interested in what your thoughts on the Kami are. Do you think I'm playing it too safe with trying to see the Hodies? Or do you respect the hustle? Either way, thank you for watching, and I hope you have a lovely rest of your day.